What's going on, team? It's Caddy with Money Investing. I hope that you all are having an amazing day. So in this video, I will be giving you guys an update on the S&P 500 futures and the S&P 500 index itself. Where are we coming from last week? How did the patterns and the indices traded today? Where did they close? And where do I personally see the stock market and these indices going in the near future, the remainder of this week and going into next week? So this right here are going to be the major indices of the United States. This right here is going to be the S&P 500, which you guys can see closed down about 36 basis points. This is Dow Jones Industrial Average, down about 65 basis points. And this right here is going to be the NASDAQ index, which is weighted heavily by the tech sector. So companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon are going to be included in that index, which essentially drove that index up for the day, up over 15 basis points. So for the most part, the markets were flat, and we will be going over the pattern. But before we get started, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and recommends this video to other people who might be interested in watching. Also, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos related to the stock market, investing, and technical breakdowns. So if you've been watching any of my previous market update videos, you guys understand that this right here was a Thursday sell-off that we have already recognized. This was a 6% drop in both the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. The next day, the market did gap up, but it was making lower highs and lower lows, essentially a sign of weakness in the pattern. Over the weekend, the futures market opened and they were consolidating in this red range that you guys see before breaking down of their support from Friday and then essentially selling all the way down to the 2,922 level before reversing back all the way to Thursday's resistance, also the Thursday's high on Monday. And this was due to the catalyst that the Fed provided to the markets, and that was essentially saying that we are going to start buying individual corporate bonds. Essentially, any company who's looking to raise money through debt, the Fed will buy their bonds, and that sent the markets higher on that day. So now if you watched my market update from yesterday, we have recognized this new red range where the market is essentially trading in, and that is a form of consolidation. The pattern has started to go sideways. Even after the fact that it's going sideways, this right here is going to be Tuesday's trading activity, so yesterday's trading activity. And after so much consolidation, the market did still finish green. But today, as you guys can see, that they're both down on the day, except for NASDAQ, which is up about 15 basis points, more or less flat on the day. So now if we jump over to today's trading activity, you guys can see that it's trading very sideways. It is consolidating for the most part, and it's not giving us a very clear direction on where it wants to go. So if you guys notice in between these two green lines, this is going to be today, Wednesday's trading activity, and we can kind of extend this range up until here because it has been trading in between this range that we have already recognized in previous market updates. So now if you were to kind of pull back on the chart and see where those key support and resistance levels are, I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these just so we can kind of clear up the pattern and you guys understand what exactly I'm talking about here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these lines. So now if we were to look as far as Thursday of last week, this resistance that you guys see, the circle, and if you follow along all the way down here, is acting as a new resistance for the S&P 500 futures. That's essentially where the pattern got rejected today, and that's the resistance from today. It's not able to break out of that level. It did pre-market, but then it sold off, right? So it's making lower highs and lower lows, which again is a sign of weakness for the pattern. So it's not going as high as it did the previous time, but also it's going lower than it did the previous time. So that again is a sign of weakness for the S&P 500 futures. So that resistance is going to be around 3,126. The support is going to be very clearly recognized at 3,100. And the reason is simple because of the fact that it has bounced off of this level multiple times in the past from yesterday going into today. And that was also the level where it bounced off of today at around 10:30 in the morning. And you guys can see the S&P 500 futures is right around that level during the time of this video. The futures market does open at 6 p.m. So they're going to trade for another 30 minutes right now and then close and then open back up at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if we pull back on the chart now, there are some key support resistance levels that I want you guys to understand. There is a very clear resistance at 3150, which is what the price was back on Thursday's pre-market. The S&P 500 hit that level and then pulled back and then started consolidating between this red range that we have already recognized. Today in the morning, it did hit that level again pre-market, but then sold off, started making lower highs and lower lows. So it is creating some sort of a weakness in the pattern. Now, if we were to go over to the 4-hour chart, and if I were to kind of remove all these trend lines that we have and kind of zoom in, on the pattern, you guys can see how it's just going sideways, right? There is so much consolidation in the market right now. Going back as far as June 16th, you guys can see it's just been trading sideways, and it's making this consolidated pattern without really giving us a clear direction on where it wants to go. That being said, this right here is the support that we are already recognizing for the S&P 500 right around the 3100 level. For the resistance, it's going to be right around this 3140 to 3155 level. And when a pattern consolidates like this for a long time, it's usually a sign or an indication that it's setting up for a major move, right? So it's setting up for either a big breakout or a big breakdown, depending on where the strength or the weakness is in terms of the price action, and whether there's going to be a huge catalyst that is going to drive the S&P 500 in either direction. So before we get further into the analysis, I want to give you guys a complete overview of everything that's going on. Unemployment is still at record levels at 13.3%. Powell said the interest rates are going to remain zero up until the year 2022, and they're less likely to turn negative next year. The Fed also said that they were going to start buying individual corporate bonds and ETFs that have investment-grade bonds and junk debt. However, that has changed since my last video because they essentially said that they're going to focus on buying individual corporate bonds more than the ETFs that they previously mentioned. We're still seeing quite a resurgence in cases, more specifically in states like Texas and Florida, and those are some of the reasons that is adding to the market consolidation and the fact that it's going sideways so much without having a clear decision on where it wants to go. So the most important piece of information that I want to share with you guys is about Jeremy Grantham. He's one of the investors from Boston-based investment firm. And during the closing bell of Wednesday, which is today, and he essentially said that this US stock market rally that we have seen could potentially be in the fourth major market bubble that he's ever seen in his investing career. He essentially advised investors to lower their US exposure and said, and I quote, that the US is now just simply playing with fire. You might make a lot of money in the short term, but you have to recognize that we are skating on very thin ice. So that is quite a bearish message from Jeremy Grantham, essentially saying that to take off US exposure out of your portfolio, and the fact that this potentially could be the fourth major market bubble that he is seeing. Now, Jerome Powell, during his testimony to the Congress, he essentially said that they're not going to be buying corporate bonds like an elephant. They're not going to sniffle for price swings, but if things do get bad, they are there to help. He also mentioned the uncertainty that is around this entire recovery that the US economy is going to see, and also the stock market, if it's going to essentially go back to all-time highs, if that's going to happen or not. Now, there's also a $1 trillion infrastructure bill that is being prepped up and is being negotiated over, and whether that's going to pass or not. Jerome Powell also said that we could potentially see a significant amount of people out of work even after the recovery has been done due to the industries that have been disrupted with this global pandemic and the resurgence of the virus that we've seen more lately. Now, taking all of that into account and also looking at some of the technicals to give you guys a complete overview and a breakdown, I would personally be watching the 3,100 level very closely, and I will go ahead and create an alert below that level. I would also be watching the 3155 to 3156 level very closely, as it has been the most recent resistance for the S&P 500 futures and the S&P 500 index itself. So from a support standpoint, I'm going to create an alert below 3100. From a resistance standpoint, I'm going to create an alert over 3155. Right now, the pattern is consolidating, but it is trading above its 9 EMA, which is the 9-day exponential moving average, and it did bounce off of its 200 moving average after breaching that level for a very short period of time and then essentially reversing back. Looking at the MACD and the RSI, the MACD is again peaking out, showing signs of a minor pullback and a reversal. So based on the MACD indicator, I can potentially see a pullback and a reversal in the S&P 500 futures. Looking at the RSI, it's at 50, so it's not too overbought, not too oversold, meaning that it is consolidating right now and it's going sideways. And the RSI is giving us a neutral rating. That essentially means that it's leveling off and the volatility is kind of dying down as well. That being said, like I mentioned earlier in the video, when the pattern does consolidate and starts going sideways, so it's usually a sign, not always, but usually an indication that the pattern is setting up to make a major move either up or down. So it's either going to break out of this resistance or it's going to break down. It also depends on the volume and if those levels are going to be sustained. Please make sure to do your own research and your own analysis when it comes to investing in the stock market. I'm not a financial or investment advisor in any way. I just wanted to share my opinion and my analysis of the S&P 500 futures and also share with you guys what's going on in the market and where are some of the key support and resistance levels. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my complete breakdown of the S&P 500 futures. Where do I see those key support resistance levels for the S&P 500 index itself? So if you were to go over the SPY, which is going to be the S&P 500 index ETF that tracks the S&P 500 itself, for this ETF, the levels are going to be the resistance at around $317 and a very solid support right around this level at $310. Right now it closed at $311, up 7 basis points after hours. Again, it is consolidating and trading in between this range. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, happy investing, and I will see you guys in the next video.